Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens 2. Rebirth of Emperor Yang Part 16 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yan's figure wandered back and forth in the thunder clouds. There was no organization between his steps. But it was this disorganized step that made Xiao Yan wander freely in the thunder clouds. The thunder clouds rolled, the yin wind howled, the thunder hit the lightning, and the wind and cloud surged. This thin dark cloud, which was like a cloud, was already furious. The sky thunder split wildly and fell madly. It smashed continuously between the thunder clouds and on the virtual shadows. Xiao Yan slightly closed his eyes and smiled. His face was calm. He knew that this cloud was angry. But he still kept his face, lost his hands behind him, and walked through the dark fog with his feet moving slightly. At least, for Xiao Yan, it was just like this. Xiao Yan's body moved slowly, his steps moved gently, perhaps to the left or right, and his body swayed gently. In this swing, he brought gusts of strong wind, swept through the thin dark clouds, and tossed endlessly in the thunder clouds. Xiao Yan's behavior seems to be playing with, which leads to Qianlei's disorderly roaring, and Qianlei's anger cleaves down. Unfortunately, Xiao Yan avoids it again and again. Behind each suspension, there is also a divine reason. Seemingly lucky, but magical. Finally, this time, Qianlei seems to have a plan. Between Xiao Yan's constant swing left and right, a lightning cage is emerging, trapping Xiao Yang in it, as if he wants to use the power of heaven to attack Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's face remained unchanged, and the corners of his mouth still held a faint smile. It seemed that all this had nothing to do with him, and his face was light and cloudless. The calm on Xiao Yan's face seemed to touch Qianlei. The lightning cage was like a circular iron cage, which surrounded Xiao Yan and sent out bursts of thunder. Suddenly, the thunder was everywhere, and there was an adult thigh-thick thunder and lightning, which came to Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's face was indifferent. He looked at the thunder and lightning in front of him without any action. But just when the lightning was about to hit him, Xiao Yan turned his body, made a mistake with his feet in place, and turned around in a very strange position. The lightning that struck Xiao Yan was also very strange. It turned around the direction Xiao Yang had just turned and shot into the distant sky. Then it exploded, made a loud noise, burst out bursts of dazzling thunder and disappeared. Xiao Yang slowly put on a smile at the corner of his mouth, and continued to walk between the angry thunder clouds. Xiao Yan continued to practice here. A group of guests also came to the Liu family in Qingyang City. There were not many people, 3 in total, but they shocked the whole Liu family, because they came from Qingyun Mansion. The strength of the 3 is not weak. At least, they can be regarded as the top strong in this area. Among them, the strongest one has reached the level of 6-star Dozuan, and the other 2 are 5-star Dozuan. Their strength is at the top in this area. At the moment, the 3 are standing side by side in the discussion hall of the Liu family. The 6-star Dozuan wanted to sit directly on the upper seat of the hall. He just thought about it in his heart and gave up the plan after all. Liu Huabai stood up from the master's seat, stretched his left hand forward, pointed to the 3 chairs in the row on the left of the hall, smiled and said to the 3 people. 3 Taoist friends, please take a seat. As soon as the voice fell, the eyes of the people in the main hall were slightly frozen. At the moment, many people in the main hall were already standing in their own positions, so they sent the owner to say to take a seat. But at the moment, everyone's eyes are momentarily dull. In front of the first chair on the left, there stood a snow-white cat. At least, in the eyes of everyone, it was a cat. At the moment, the cat was stepping on a cushion under one of its forward claws, looking at the people with a look on his face and blinking his bright eyes. The cat claws pulled back, pulled the cushion in front of him, twisted his ass together, and sat down under everyone's eyes. Then in front of the crowd, the 4 claws were closed, the tail was wrapped in front of the body, and the neck was shrunk. Then there was a continuous cooing sound, which was not loud, but it was indeed the biggest sound in the silent hall at the moment. But then, the cooing sound was drowned by the sound of swallowing one after another. Liu Huabai, the owner of the Liu family, and the six-star Dozuan, who took the lead among the three, both had convulsions in the corners of their eyes. Then, the six-star Dozuan frowned slightly and looked at Liu Huabai standing in front of the main seat. His face showed an unhappy color and gave a cold hum. The six-star Dozuan stared at Liu Huabai, sneered, and said, "Master Liu, your cat is really not afraid of strangers. It's very good." Liu Huabai's face changed slightly when he heard the speech. Liu Xincheng's face was not very good-looking. Xiao Yan asked them to take care of the white cat. What the cat does is none of their business. Besides, it's said to be taking care of the cat. In fact, it's just leaving the cat in their Liu family. As for Xiao Yan's intention, they don't know, but now they say he's the Liu family. How can people accept it? Liu painted the change of look on his white face. The three strong men from Qingyun Mansion should have seen it in their eyes. The three looked at each other and exchanged their eyes. The six-star Dozuan, who was headed by him, nodded slightly, and then stopped moving. Liu Huabai just wanted to say something, but when he saw the six-star fighter, he gave a sneer, waved his big sleeve and said in a cold voice, "Why? I'm afraid. Didn't I have a bottom in my heart a few days ago? I dare to kill the Dozuan strongman of Qingyun Mansion. Tut tut. I'm really brave. Where's the elder of your Liu family? Isn't he very strong? Let him out. I'll see how strong he can be." When he said this, he looked around as if he was afraid of something coming out suddenly. However, in the end, he laughed more and more wildly. The laughter made everyone frown slightly, looked at each other, and looked at the look of the six-star Dozuan, which was full of fear. However, when all the people present felt palpitations because of the six-star Dozuan, no one noticed except Liu Xincheng and Liu Huabai. The cat, who had been sleeping, woke up now, and her bright eyes opened slightly, revealing two thin black lines. The bright eyes are full of endless cold, which makes people feel like they are in the eternal cold ice. It is extremely cold. Qingyang City, Liu Mansion, the Hall of Deliberation. Arrogant and wanton laughter echoed constantly in the hall. In addition to the two people in the hall, Liu Huabai, who was attracted by the white cat, and Liu Xincheng, others were frightened. These three people are really not what his Liu family can compete with. At least, without Xiao Yan, his Liu family can't compete with it. After the laughter, the six-star Dozuan looked at Liu Huabai with a sneer. His eyes were full of sarcasm. Liu Huabai, however, narrowed his eyes slightly, tilted his head slightly to the left, looked at him blandly, turned his head slightly and looked at the elder. The elder noticed Liu Huabai's eyes, moved his mouth slightly, and took a faint arc of unknown meaning. Then he shook his head slightly and ignored it. Liu Huabai's eyes shifted to the six-star Dozuan again. His eyes narrowed and the corners of his mouth turned up, revealing a smile that didn't look so harmonious. This also made the six-star Dozuan frown slightly. He turned his head and looked at the other two Dozuan strongmen beside him. He didn't express any meaning, but Liu Huabai's voice suddenly came. "You are the strong man of Qingyun Mansion. You must have come to the southwest border to find the newly advanced Dozuan strongman? He he. Unfortunately, my Liu family doesn't have it. As for the strongman in your mouth, I don't know where it is." As soon as these words came out, the three strong men of Qingyun Mansion suddenly shot their eyes at Liu Huabai and stared at Liu Huabai. The head of the six-star Dozuan narrowed his eyes, gave a cold hum and said, "Master Liu, I think it's better for you to be honest. The strong man, but he moved into your Liu house in full view of Qingyang City. Now you say you don't know. Do you think the three of me are fools?" These words are not light or heavy, but when the voice came out, everyone felt that the pressure belonging to the strong fighter spread all over the hall in an instant, making everyone feel out of breath. Hum. A cold hum came out. In the hall, everyone except the two fighting giants suddenly changed their complexion and began to turn red. Even their breathing was a little heavy. Liu Huabai Qiang's face was flushed, and the veins on his forehead burst. He endured the pressure, bit his teeth and said with difficulty, "You've done this, but it's a little too late. The elder has indeed come to my Liu family, But if the strong do things, do you still need to give me Liu Huabai? A small family leader can't ask for instructions. That elder, don't say I don't know where he lives at the moment, even if I know and fear, you can't help him. The 6-star Dozuan of Qingyun Mansion could not help frowning when he heard this. It's hard not to wonder if the man really has the ability to win the support of the Liu family. The first old man quickly exchanged his eyes with the other two. The 6-star Dozuan once again gave a cold hum. Everyone looked at the three people breathlessly and dared not relax at all. However, everyone didn't notice that the big white cat lying quietly on the cushion nodded at the moment. A pair of bright eyes looked at Liu Huabai, closed them again, and fell asleep, as if everything in the hall had nothing to do with it. Liu Huabai took a deep breath, his eyes were dull again, smiled, looked at the 6-star Dozuan, and said with a smile, "Ha ha. Since you have come all the way, you must not only come for my Liu family, but also for the Wu family. The ancestor of the Wu family is really extraordinary. It is indeed a great blessing to break through at this age." At this point, Liu Huabai's original boastful tone turned again, paused slightly, and continued. "It's a pity that although the strength has increased, people are confused. Anyone dares to provoke me. Knowing that the elder stays in my Liu family, he still wants to break through without knowing the greatness of heaven and earth. As a result, hey, it's not easy to cultivate his strength and show his skill. That's it. Tut tut. Life is really fragile." Liu Huabai sighed, but he looked at the 6-star Dozuan again, and then said, "Your Excellency, don't worry about your own life. All blessings can be enjoyed with life. If life is gone, even if there is wealth in space, what can we do?" The 6-star Dozuan snorted coldly when he heard the speech. The two strong Dozuan beside him looked at it and frowned slightly. Such a situation is not what they want to see. As soon as the Wu family dies out, this Qingyang city becomes a situation dominated by the Liu family. In the future, the Liu family will rise. At that time, the Liu family will certainly reap a lot of benefits. The ultimate purpose of the three people coming to Qingyang City this time is to suppress the Liu family and let the Liu family promise that they can hand over part of the benefits and resources they get in the future to them, but now it seems that the Liu family wants to refuse. In this way, didn't they come here in vain? They have been guarding outside Qingyang City for many days. They are afraid to come in because they are aware of the terrible smell of Xiao Yan. Until a few days ago, the three couldn't detect Xiao Yan's breath. For the sake of insurance, the three also endured for a few days before they came in. Unexpectedly, now they are defeated by the mysterious strong man. The three looked at each other for a few times. After a long time, the 6-star Dozuan finally raised his head and looked at Liu Huabai, who was sitting in the main position. His eyes were domineering and fierce, full of violence. I was almost frightened by you. What a Liu family, master! What a Liu family! How dare you tease me? Scare me with a waste that has already escaped. I'm really afraid of a bear-heart leopard. Liu Huabai? You have to give me a satisfactory explanation today anyway. Otherwise? The 6-star Dozuan had a violent face, a fierce complexion and a violent surge of murderous qi. He just wanted to continue to talk, but he suddenly lost his temper. The whole person stood in place, sweating cold on his head, and he didn't dare to give a look. His eyes were full of horror. What else do you want? Kill the Liu family? Kill the fleeing waste, you said? Or, catch the torture slowly and let the Liu family see how waste they are, the savior? A little 6-star Dozuan dares to say such a big story. I really don't know why life and death. As soon as they said this, their faces suddenly changed. With a bang, they knelt down together and kowtowed to admit their mistakes. Why? Don't you want to do it to me now? A cold hum came out, and the whole room was silent. No one dared to make a sound. In the middle of the hall, 3 old men in white robes knelt down in the hall and kowtowed to admit their mistakes. After hearing this, the leading 6-star fighter suddenly contracted his pupils, and the whole person couldn't help shaking. After a good moment, He trembled and said word by word. The elder? I'm joking. How dare the younger three dare to have this, such bold and presumptuous thoughts? The elder has great strength. How dare the later three touch something? The six-star Dozuan swallowed his saliva. His words were difficult and his breathing was tense, but he was very slow. It seemed that he was afraid to annoy the senior master. The man heard a sneer, which made the whole hall shake 3 times. The hall shook and brought down a lot of old accumulated dust from the beam. The dust fell. The whole hall was like fairy dust and clouds scattered in the world in an instant. However, it is very strange that the falling dust fell on the 3 strong men of Qingyun Mansion, and the eyebrows of the people looking at it are straight. When the dust fell, the hall was clear. Take a breath. I didn't feel the dust floating in the air. I felt very fresh. The carpet in the main hall looks clean without any trace of dust. If you look carefully, you will find some new clues. At the moment, the carpet is not only not dirty, but also much cleaner than the original. The whole carpet looks very bright, just like new. Everyone's eyes swept around. In the end, except Liu Huabai and Liu Xincheng, everyone else's eyes were red, and the glittering and translucent water flowed around the bottom of their eyes. It was almost a small opportunity to burst into tears. Even Liu Huabai and Liu Xincheng, although there are not many changes on their faces, if they look carefully, they can clearly see that their cheeks are telling everyone the mood in their hearts at the moment. In the field, the only thing that couldn't laugh was the 3 people in Qingyun Mansion who knelt in the center of the hall and trembled for some reason. At the moment, the 3 people, just from the appearance, were extremely funny. They knelt in the hall, and their clothes and robes had no color for a long time. On the back, a layer of dust as thick as snow covered the whole back. All 3 people were disheartened and looked embarrassed. If you look up and down from the 3 people at the moment, you can't see anyone. You can only see 3 mounds of earth paved in the main hall. At the moment, the 3 people were livid, clenched their teeth, made bursts of creaking noises in their mouths, knelt on the ground with angry faces, and their eyes were full of unwilling colors. Boom! A strong wind suddenly shot in front of the 3 people. The 3 people looked surprised and hurried to get up and fight to meet them. Bang! Hearing a dull noise, the 3 were thrown out of the hall and rolled on the ground in embarrassment, which finally stopped them. The figure stopped, and the 3 stood up. The head of the 6-star Dozuan, with red eyes, stared at the fog-shrouded hall, roared and asked, "Elder, what do you mean? You've played tricks on the 3 of me, and you even want to kill us? You really lose your name." "Hey, boy, I'm brave. I just wanted to help you get rid of the dust, but unexpectedly, you 3 got up and went back to block." As soon as he said this, everyone turned his mouth. According to the posture of the strong wind just now, it was clear that he meant to kill the 3 of them. At the moment, it's strange for others to resist. There's no reason to be unprepared at the moment of life and death. Who knows you're not going to kill them? If you really want to kill them, but you don't resist, you'll lose your life in vain. Who would do such a stupid thing? Even Liu Huabai and Liu Xincheng looked at each other and didn't speak. The 3 elders of Qingyun Mansion also twitched in the corners of their eyes when they heard the speech. They were blamed for this. Before the 3 people reacted, the mysterious elder said again, "Alas Tilda, but you can stop it. You even slander the good people and say that I don't deserve the name of this elder and have no sense of benevolence and righteousness. Now tell me, do I deserve it or not?" Huh? As soon as the voice fell, the whole audience was quiet. The 3 fighters in Qingyun Mansion felt an inexplicable pressure and rushed towards them. In an instant, it enveloped the 3 people, so that they felt an unparalleled terrorist pressure on their hearts and were shocked. The pupil of the leading 6-star Dozuan suddenly contracted to the size of the tip of a needle. Regardless of the look on the 2 faces around him, he hurried to say, "You deserve your reputation. You should eliminate those unruly people for Qingyun Mansion, stick to righteousness and help the poor and the weak. You deserve your name. These words are awe-inspiring and benevolent, but they all turn their heads to one side and don't look at him anymore. The six-star doe is also a red face, and his face is slightly fevered, but his eyes are slightly turned, and what he says is not much. After a good movie, the elder opened his mouth again and said with a smile, "Ha ha. In that case, I'll forget it. Just compensate me for what you scolded me earlier, okay?" Hearing the speech, the three quickly smiled and nodded in agreement. Seeing this, the elder immediately said with a smile, "Then, I don't want much. I'm sure you can't get anything good. I'll be kind. Just give me a 500,000 spirit coin." This sentence was very indifferent, but when everyone heard it, they all had a crazy twitch in their face. Take 500,000 spirit coins casually. What is this spirit coin for? Is it so worthless? Everyone was speechless. What's more, I have to count the three Dozuan strong men of Qingyun Mansion. They look at each other and shake their heads for a while. 500,000 ling coins, which is astronomical for any of them, even if the three of them take them together, the pressure is not small at all. The three of them said a few words, but finally they frowned and looked helpless. After a while, the six-star fighter bit his lips and said slowly, "Elder, this 500,000 spirit coin is indeed too much." "That's too much? I don't think you want to. The three people are only 500,000 in total. Compared with your small life, I'm very kind. This video will end here.